We
Shuffle
are
away.
all in alignment with Anita, her, and Cheryl, me. And we wear these funky glasses to give you inspiration, hopefully, to start looking at your environment through energetic eyes. Plus, it's our excuse to play dress up on Friday mornings and, have fun and be ourselves.
Be ourselves. That's right. We're just us. Hey, good morning, Sharon. Thanks for joining us.
Morning,
Hopefully
Sharon.
the weather is good out there and you can go golfing today, maybe.
And I'm shuffling.
And you're shuffling, so I'll show the thing.
Perfect.
Yeah, so we use the Feng Shui Personal Paradise card deck from Tara Catherine Collins, our teacher, mentor, founder of the Western School of Feng Shui. Beautiful goddess that she is. And yeah, so that's, our topic for the day. Although sometimes, we can go off topic a little bit. And,
no.
Some of us, one of us maybe can. Yeah.
I think we're both very capable of, that and other things. So interesting with this warmer weather. It's like, wow, we can actually see the asphalt in our driveway. Well, some of it, because Rod's been working diligently at that.
Well, and we're going to get cold again next week.
Yes, so it's to run around and get groceries and hunker down again.
And then today is 1 month. 1 month from today, it'll be Christmas.
Oh, that's right. It's the 25th.
So yay for that. I'm always happy for it to come and go. So
you're hilarious.
I'm not a fan of Christmas. How can you tell?
I can tell, and I'm the opposite. I love Christmas because to me it's not stressful.
Yeah, so we might have
enjoyable and it's fun.
We might have to decorate the tree tonight. My little grandkids are coming over, so I'm not sure. That might be on the list. And then it's Santa Claus parade tomorrow in Sylvan Lake.
Oh, it's also that metaphysical, Bettina's metaphysical.
Oh yeah,
event.
Are you coming out for that?
Yes, I want to come check it out.
Cool. Yeah, and then I have to go to Santa Claus breakfast tomorrow morning.
Of course.
So that'll be fun.
What time is the parade?
They do it in the evening. So I think it starts at 7 p.m. or something. Okay. But they have a Yuletide festival, kind of like a trade show thing happening.
Oh wow! And where's that at?
That's at the Next Source Center.
Okay. Very cool. Well, we have two cards come out. The third one just is not coming. So
okay, well,
first one that flew out, which was funny because it was right when you were talking about being cold outside and doing stuff, is the number 15 card, front entrances.
Okay.
And I think this one interesting to go hand in hand with it. It's the number 8 card, nature objects.
Okay. Well, we've had both of those before.
Well, we've had all these cards before.
Yeah.
But interestingly, when you were just referring to decorating the tree, that's when the nature objects came out. And I am an advocate for the reusable trees that you put away. Not cutting down a tree for a week and then throwing it away.
Yeah.
Every fiber of my being does not like that.
Yeah.
At all. However,
100%.
Nature objects can be brought in. Like my decor this year is a lot to do with nature.
Let's talk about the tree because and or decorations, and that could be with the front entrance as well. So let's talk about decorating past the season of Christmas.
Yes.
And because what happens, when you decorate, and I know, Cheryl, I was at your house last week and you've already put up your tree, and a lot of people have, a lot of people put it up right after Remembrance Day.
I would put it up earlier, but I have respect, and so.
Yeah.
But for me, it's not just about, it's a shift in seasons.
Yeah.
Right. So I look at my tree could stay up year round. It doesn't scream Christmas.
Right.
So
tell me, so when you decorated,
Mhm.
right? So you decorated a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
So the day that you were decorating,
yes,
how was your personal energy that
super
day?
high. Like Rod said, he could come upstairs and tell I was having a blast.
Right.
Because I enjoy it.
Right.
Because everything gets cleaned. The dust gets wiped down, the pictures, the mirrors. It's like, for me, preparing to settle in for the winter months. And it gives me a different perspective.
Right. And so then your personal energy was elevated, was
Yes.
lifted,
Yep.
right?
You know it.
And then, since then, because the tree adds that extra illumination, the decorations, have sparkle, they're reflective quite often, shiny surfaces. Again, have you found that your energy is higher?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Totally.
And so that's what happens in our home. However, the longer time frame that we have these extra stimulants in our environment, right? Our bodies can't sustain that higher frequency. And so then what happens is we end up becoming burnt out, or we have adrenal fatigue, because it's this constant extra stimulation that we're receiving from our environment. And our autonomic nervous system, is trying to process that. And, and then, we go shopping and there's lights everywhere. And we go to someone else's house and we're stimulated and we're overstimulated. And so just think about, it's like having a child on sugar for an extended period of time. They go, they're like little all over the place. And then they have a sugar crash, right? And so it's kind of like that for us in our environment. And so when you are decorating with those nature objects, the tree, right? You might want to put a timer on the lights so that,
absolutely,
so that you only have that extra stimulation for an hour a day or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. You might want to, rethink or look at your decorations and just say, how much active energy, or how much are they stimulating those senses? How is it going to be affecting not only myself, but the other people that live in my home over this extended period of time? And then what's really, really important is to decorate, like you had mentioned, Cheryl, seasonally, so that it's not like Boxing Day or whatever day you put away the decorations. It's like, boom, then you're slamming into a wall. And all of a sudden, this overstimulation is just like letting the air out of a balloon. It's just like completely collapsed. And I think we wrote an article about this, Cheryl.
We did.
It really, I think, attributes to the SAD, right? The seasonal, what do they call it? A seasonal attention deficit disorder, the SAD, right? Because the days are shorter and we don't have that extra light, and then we've been overstimulated this entire 30 days or more, it really has an effect on our mental, emotional, and physical well-being.
Absolutely.
What I like about it. Good morning, Kathy.
Oh, good morning, y'all. What I utilize, and this is some of the tricks other people can use or not. We always use timers. energy efficiency for starters, but the
Yeah.
lights I don't have the lights on during the day, but they replace. So when the tree goes up, those lights replace the other lights that were in the living room at night. Right? So the other lights are downstairs in the spare bedrooms that need more light when we have guests. So it's an exchange.
Right.
Other objects, other ornaments, other tchotchkes, for lack of a word, get put away. And the Christmas decor or the themes or whatever get changed out, right? So when I say seasonally, for me, I have some angels and I have a snowman and a snow woman, right? So the stuff that I had out in the fall is put away. And these are in exchange. So the energy in our house is still very much comfortable, still very much neutral. There is more light at night because now the lights of the tree are on a timer, and we're also coming to the shortest day of the year.
Right.
So again, we're utilizing the lights from the tree instead of turning on overhead lights that are harsher. So we're using the softness of the tree, right? So there's some other ways of playing with it.
Right. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, totally. That's a great idea to just swap out or trade out what you already have for lighting.
Exactly, because then it's not that overstimulation. It's not that overabundance.
Yeah, it's more subtle.
It is more subtle.
And then again,
we use the 5-element theory, talk about it in balancing so that it's not an overstimulation of fire energy, because that's what's causing the burnout.
Right.
Right. So how do we do that? We bring in a little bit more water. So there's a little bit more black in my decor than the rest of the year. So there's things that you can do to play with your decor and your decorations to help create that balance and that comforting and that safe environment that we're always referring to.
Yeah. And then again, you know, that conscious awareness that this is going to be happening,
right,
or has the possibility to happen, and then planning your decor so that there is something you can leave past the Christmas season that extends into January, that still offers you that little bit of you know, elevated energy, a little bit of that fire energy, so that it's not like just dousing the flame, like, right?
Extinguishing a candle. Exactly.
It's just not going to be so drastic.
Yeah.
And so,
so ours do go up, correct? And they also don't come down till after Ukrainian Christmas. As part of my ancestry and my heritage, I still like to celebrate it and acknowledge it. Mine goes up in November and doesn't come down till towards the end of January. And that's part of that seasonal shift, right? And then at that point, then a little bit of more red comes out for the Valentine's, right? So yes, the marketing helps, it's out there, but it's also within your control, the amount.
Right. Matthew says he doesn't decorate his home for the holidays. Okay, I'm coming to live with you.
See, and I don't look at it as decorating for the holiday. I look at it as shifting the energy for the season.
Yeah.
So it depends on your approach.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, I'm just not a Christmas fan. So
I just don't get caught up in all the buying and the shopping and the crazy and the have-tos and the running around. Never have.
Yeah.
So
Kathy says expectations, decorating for someone else, not for self. Yeah. Good point. So yeah, and a lot of times, you know, that's a great point, Kathy, because you know, we have been, you know, into other people's homes, and you go, holy moly, like you know, it's almost like they're putting on this show or this display for everybody else to go, oh, right. And so, are you doing it for you? Are you doing it for your family? Are you doing it for, you know, that recognition from someone else? Right.
Good question. I know I
Mhm.
do it for me. I could give a rat's ass about anybody else.
Yeah.
That's a terrible thought, but I do it for me and for us. Ron
Yeah.
wouldn't care less about that, but on the outside of the house, he's Mr. Let's get the Christmas lights up on the outside of the house.
Yeah.
We love
Right. And so that takes us to the front
front entrance.
Right.
Absolutely.
And now I honestly could say, if I didn't do any interior decorating,
Mhm.
I think I would do the outside, just because it's nice to have that extra illumination around your front entrance to say,
Absolutely.
hello, welcome to the Chi. Hey, Louise. Hello, my friend. Good to see you. Hello, hello. This
Hello,
woman that
Louise.
just joined us here.
Mhm.
This is this is an amazing woman. We need to have Louise on our FLAWC channel one day. Please, Louise, we'd love to interview you. This woman was a catalyst for me back when I was very young. She introduced me to a whole world of horticulture that was just amazing. And she continues to, she lives just south of Calgary, and on a family farm. How many generations, Louise? I think 4 generations or something. And you want to know about permaculture, you want to know about living off the land. This woman,
Oh,
amazing.
very cool. You have spoken about
Amazing.
her. You've spoken
Yeah.
about her to me
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, so
Nice.
great to have you, my friend Louise. Good to have you here.
Hi,
And
Louise.
you
Great
know
to
what?
meet you.
She's amazing decorator, crafty person. You
Well,
know,
she'd be a great one to show images if she's got some of what she's created of nature objects for the front entrance, because that's
yes.
what I like. I like seeing, arrangements that are varying heights and they incorporate some of our natural objects.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like cutting trees down for Christmas trees, but I like this because you can find the branches already down. The trees have already said, okay, I'm done with you.
Yep.
And, they're there, and then you're using them and reusing them again. So I love that appearance on front entrances. Not a big fan of the big blow up things that are,
Yep.
but
Yeah, just
not
those
judging them either.
natural boughs. And I mean, there has been, in the last few years, I've noticed more and more where people are putting like an outdoor arrangement at their front entrance, with the birch, branches and things like
Willow
that. And just natural, right? And some fresh boughs and yeah. So yeah, love the smell of that fresh cedar and fir and pine. And I always do get some of those fresh boughs. And sometimes I'll make a wreath for the door, or just to have a fresh arrangement. Gosh knows, I had a little bit of experience doing that over the years.
Just a little bit. What's neat for me, and I think one of the biggest challenges, at least for us here, is our temperature swings. Like we're at -1 Celsius right now, right at this very moment.
Yeah.
Next week at this very moment, it's going to be -20 something is the forecast. Yeah. And then it can warm back up with the Chinook, and then it can drop back down in temperatures. So the biggest challenge that I see for the nature objects and the fresh boughs is keeping them from drying out. Because then that depletes that chi at your front entrance.
Right. Yeah. Because you don't want the you don't want the dead shedding, that kind of thing. Right. Yeah. Well, it's like when they start to get to that point, then you just have to get rid of them. Right.
Well, you see it even already now. So how do you decide? This is something for both you and Louise to pipe in on. So out getting groceries, of course, Costco yesterday, Superstore, wherever you go, and they've got outside the containers sitting out already in these elements. They're not being cared for. And you're already purchasing something that has started to desiccate.
So
how do you tell what's fresh and what's not?
I mean, you can tell by the freshness, by the feel, of them, right? If they feel a little bit more plump, I guess might be the word, then you know that they are more hydrated compared to, just saggy and limp. But if, regardless of what condition they're in when you buy them, so long as they're green, you can bring that greenery home, and you can literally spray it down, mist it, put some moisture in there. You can, whatever pot it's in, you could add some water, just so that there is that extra moisture. And those evergreen boughs will they'll last for weeks and weeks, so long as they have that little bit of moisture.
So I like that. That's a great tip for people, because no matter where you live, warm or cold, or in between, which can be our temperatures from now till Christmas or beyond, that misting. And would that be based on your weather? Would you do that on a daily basis? Would you do that? How would they know? We're gonna get some floriculture tips here.
Yeah, I think obviously based on the weather, if it's colder temperatures, they're probably going to dry out. The moisture will be sucked from those greens a lot quicker. And then, if you did have a snow, if we have a little bit of snow in between, then just take some of that snow and throw it on those evergreen boughs, right? Just toss it on there like nature would normally do.
Right.
Yeah, something like that.
Perfect. How do you like that? Festive tips from the pros.
Yeah, that's right.
Who'd have thought when I pulled out front entrance and nature objects, we'd be talking about keeping boughs fresh.
Christmas. Well, you never know, right?
Why not? We never know where we're going to go with the conversation.
That's right.
It's a conversation starter is what they are.
Yeah, that's right. And then, and I love that, show us some pictures of your front entrance. And Matthew, even though you might not decorate for Christmas, you might still want to, like Cheryl said, decorate something seasonal. And just, have something at your front entrance that is like a greeter that says, hello, welcome to this new season. And maybe, maybe it is just some boughs or, a basket of pine cones or, some of those birch sticks. And
where Matthew lives, one would think a quick walk on his property and he'd be bountifully loaded up.
Oh, I think so. 100%. So
but let's also talk about the front entrance and accessibility, because I see it when I take the dog for a walk.
Yeah.
That snow shoveling and ensuring that the front entrance to your home is cleared, is safe, and then it's welcoming. Because if the chi can't get there because the sidewalk's too slippery, if your mailman absolutely, does the walk by and tosses your mail because they can't get to the sidewalk and the mailbox, you need to pay some attention. And I see it often.
Oh, yes.
The dog. And I think, this is not the time of year I would want a delivery person to have to deal with stuff like that.
Well, and again, I know where Louise lives and where Matthew lives. You're out in the country, right? And so you might think, oh, it's not so important to, have my front entrance looking great, or, maybe I'm using the side entrance door or whatever. And, maybe, the snow has piled up on the front deck or something like that. But again, the architectural front door, right, is just like your mouth and your nose in your body. That's where your energy that sustains your life force comes from. It comes through the mouth of chi, through your nose and your mouth. And so you have to think of your home as being energetically alive, and it has those similar characteristics. And that is the mouth of chi. That's where the nourishment comes into your home, is through your architectural front door. So, make sure that it says hello and that good chi is going to come in and nourish your home.
Exactly. Awesome. Well, look at us, 5 minutes to go. Let's talk about some numbers.
Okay.
Let's talk about some numbers.
So what do we have? Number 6 with the front entrance, and a number 8, and a 14 is a 5. Change. Oh, I love that, Matthew. He hangs the antique snowshoes on the front door for the winter. Love that.
Nice. See, so you do some decorating.
Yes. And the smells, that's a good point too, Kathy. You know, smells are really important too, 100%. Right? So yeah, that cinnamon is a nice smell for Christmas. Of course, the pine, the cedar, and you know, Connie is joining us here today too. And I know Connie sells Young Living oils.
Yes.
And they have amazing blends that you can put in the diffuser. Connie,
if you would, into the chat, into the Facebook feed chat, type in a recipe or 2, right? Like 5 drops of this and 1 drop of that and 4 drops of that, and put in your contact information. Because lots of people do have oils already. They just don't, like me, I have all kinds of them. I don't know what the hell to do with them. So I put the same, I experiment every time. Sometimes it's great. Sometimes I dump the water out.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, it might be a little bit of peppermint, a little bit of thieves, or
right. Yeah. So whatever is a nice wintry combination, or a couple different recipes. If you would, if you don't want to, that's okay too. But I just thought that'd be a nice.
Yeah. So no, thanks. I see. We just went off tangent. I just went off tangent. Kathy just put that on there, and I'm like, oh yeah. What about that?
Well, smells are important, and we talked about the smell of the fresh boughs and things like that. And I'm a real fan of the cinnamon. And when you walk into some of the stores that have the pine cones or spruce cones or whatever cones they are that are already, I don't know how they impregnate the cinnamon smell in there, but never.
Actually, I think Louise, maybe you and I, way back in the day, we actually took pine cones, I believe. And you know how sometimes when you have an old candle and you end up with just that little blob at the end? Anyways, we would melt that extra candle wax, put some cinnamon sticks in there, a little bit of cinnamon oil, and then you just dip pine cones in there. And then you can just leave a basket of those beside your fireplace if you have a wood fireplace or wood burning stove. And then you use them as fire starters. And then you have that nice, you know, aroma of that cinnamon.
Oh, there you go, Matthew. We know he's got a wood burner.
Yeah. So that's just kind of a cool little thing that we used to do back in the day.
He's thinking, yeah, it's a little girly for me, but.
Or, you know, and then just pine cones, those pine cones just sitting there with that extra paraffin wax on them with that cinnamon smell. It just, it
adds to the aroma.
Okay,
so to go back to the number 5 at the top of the hour here. Of course, I always refer to Marilyn and Joy's Double Digitology book.
Yes.
And just a side note, mark on your calendars, December 12th, 6 p.m. Pacific. Yours truly and Calais, that's online with us, are featured guests on the Double Digitology. It is a globally streamed monthly broadcast that Marilyn Harper and Joy Roby, Adironda and Company do, and Marilyn's done this for over 13 years, which is very cool. So I am really honored to be part of it again. And I'm going to start sharing the links and creating some Facebook posts about it. And I'd love to create an event and invite people, and let's have a watch party.
Yes, cool.
What do you guys think?
I think that's a great idea because, you, Cheryl, is just a channel. I mean, you're such a gifted channel as Calais. So love it. Hello, Nelia, Mona. Look at all these people joining us.
Everybody's joining us just at the top of the hour, though.
Wow.
So anyway, back to the book and the number 5 today. So there's the image of the number 5. Of course, you all know what it looks like, but I like it.
It looks pregnant.
It can roll around, and very short sentence: balanced, poised for movement. So what are y'all And we know it's Thanksgiving weekend in the US, so happy
Mhm.
Thanksgiving to all our US friends. What is everyone poised to do?